On this day in Louisville, Kentucky, these 8 men went to camp to speak the words of the Most High Power. And as they had done countless times before, but on this day, they were attacked by a vile mob of heathens and sinful men who sought to take their lives and stop them from raising up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
However, in accordance to their training and the love that they had for one to another, they fought their attackers side by side.
That's right.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
On to death if necessary.
That's right.
And at the end of the conflict, they prevailed and returned to their homes and to their brethren and their wives and their children. All was lost except one thing they brought back. They brought back the Bible.
That's right.
And delivered it back to this nation.
Shalom, Israel. You know what it is. This is Kentucky 8 Podcast.
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ, Israel. This is Officer Hamakobov. Man, welcome to the Kentucky 8 Podcast. We got a lot of great stories to bring out tonight. Of course, another devil shot up a bunch of Edomites, so we got to bring out that story. Man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Got another mighty man in the building. Shalom, Lord Christ, Officer of 1,000 Matarah. What's going on with it, mighty man?
Hey, Shalom. Shit, just
Shalom,
chilling.
stop.
Wait for
Yeah,
this
I heard.
Podcast to start up.
You already know. Yeah, we're gonna go in and talk about this devil that shut up all these Edomites. Man, it's crazy. It's like every couple of months you get an Edomite that goes the hell off and shoot up a lot of people, and somehow people still don't believe that this man is the devil. So we're gonna talk about that story. Man, it's crazy. But
Right.
we waiting for some. What was that, Salaki?
I was agreeing with you.
Damn right. We're gonna wait for the other brothers to come into the chat and share the podcast. By the way, man, we're about to get it in. We're gonna start off with this story: 10 people dead, including police officer, after shooting at Colorado grocery store. Damn, man, Esau's busy. So this is courtesy of NBC News. And it reads, 10 people were killed, including a police officer, after a gunman walked into a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado on Monday and began randomly shooting shoppers. The officer, Eric Talley, 51, an 11-year veteran of the Boulder police force, was the first officer to arrive at the King Soup's grocery store Monday afternoon. Police Chief Morris Harold said he had been dispatched after gunfire was reported, she said. And it reads, Harold provided no detail about the other victims. She said a suspect who was injured in the shooting is in custody. She didn't provide details about a potential motive. Earlier, a police commander, Eric Yamaguchi, said that there was no ongoing threat. He said it was unclear if the person had a connection to King Soupers. Dean Schiller said he was outside the store when he heard gunfire and saw 3 people who appeared to have been injured. 2 were outside, he said. The other was inside. An employee from the store told him a shooter was inside. Damn. Would you look at that? Now, I did see a video clip about this news story And apparently it was another Edomite that hauled off and shot all these people. What's your thoughts on it, Madara?
I mean, shoot, really all I can think of is that's the spirit of the devil. You understand? He's
Right,
always, I mean, he's always been going all over the earth, committing all kinds of, mass murders. So it's really no surprise when, he just goes and does it within his own community.
right. Damn, that's a damn shame. You know what I mean? We try to tell people. And by the way, I want to give a big shout out to the Nashville, Tennessee camp. Officer Tharwar down there and them brothers. Of course, we had a brother from Kentucky in that camp too. It seemed like Kentucky always in the mix and something, man. But I want to give a big shout out to that. Yeah, I mean, that was Officer Ayasaya, from the Kentucky camp down there, getting it in. You know what I mean? Mighty men. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Them purple cats thought they could try to intimidate the real priest of the Lord, and it didn't happen like that. You feel me? Straight up. But going back to this story, man, it's so crazy because we get on these corners every weekend and tell our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that the so-called white man who is Esau in the Bible is the devil. And people don't believe it. They don't believe it. Let me give a couple of shout outs real quick. I want to give a shout out to the sister Kapa Banap Yahawada. Give a shout out to the Ak Pancho. I can't say that, man. Come on, man. This is a family show. Give a shout out to John Deeves, if I said that right. Shalom, brother. And give a shout out to Wood Deer. You know what I mean? But going back to this story. So this Edomite went into this grocery store, shot and killed 10 people, including a police officer. And guess what? He got apprehended and taken in alive. He got apprehended and taken in alive. Now, most black men, you can't even get your wallet out and show your ID before you get shot. But somehow these mass murderers keep on getting taken alive when they are the worst predators and killers on the planet. It's crazy. Anything you want to add to that, Madara?
Oh, Slacky, I just wanted to say, just touch on what you had said. Like, that's insane that this devil was able to murder a police officer and they still took him in alive. If that was a
Right.
black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, there would have been a manhunt all over the goddamn state for that brother.
Right.
And they
Right.
wouldn't, and they would have gunned him down as soon as they saw him.
Damn right. Damn right. And it's crazy. And by the way, if anybody want to leave your comments or you got any questions or any comments concerning this story, go ahead and drop them, man. We want to get your feedback too. But yeah, this is crazy, man. And it's on the heels of that shooting in Atlanta, another mass shooting. It might be a telltale sign of things to come here in 2021 with these mass shootings. You know what I mean? Yeah, the brother John Davis said true. You damn right. It's true. Because, we try to tell our people that the oppressor of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the devil. Matter of fact, I got a scripture that goes along with this story. It's in the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. The Bible speaks about this, man. You got to know this. You got to know that you got an enemy on the planet. You know what I mean? Hey, shalom, Lord Christ, Cap.
Hey, shalom, Maki. Hey, shalom, Lord Christ. I'm gonna get ready to pull up some stories. You keep going back.
Come, sir. We talking about the big one tonight, sir. About the big mass shooting where Esau shot up a lot of people again. We tell them week after week that this man is the devil the Bible speaks of, and they don't believe us. This white man that went up he done gone off and hauled off and shot up some more people, and he managed to get taken alive. He managed to get taken alive, sir. And meanwhile, the average brother, he tried to take out his ID card out of his wallet and he gets shot dead. You know what I mean? Kind of sir. But yeah, we talking about that that story. They don't have a motive as of right now about what he did, but we in ISUPK know the motive. He's the
Right.
devil the Bible speaks of. And if I could, I got a scripture I want to pull with that. This is in the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. The thief is who stole black people from Africa, man. From the west coast of Africa. When we was settled in that land, when we exiled out of Israel, we settled in the west coast of Africa and we was stolen. Who stole us? The thief, which is the so-called white man, right? And it says right here, it says the thief cometh not but for to steal your very life, and to kill you if you're a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, or anybody on the planet, and to destroy. Think of all those families that's destroyed in Boulder, Colorado by the hands of the white man. Damn. So, look, that's all I got on this, sir.
Damn right. I'm about to pull up the it said 10 people. We got two links for it. Which one you want to do? The first one and the second one?
Slocky. So I think I just read the one courtesy of NBC. I think another brother sent a link with a different perspective. If you want to read that one, sir.
Cool. Yep, I see the second one. Let's get that one. Man, these devils can't stop. They can't stop themselves.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Nobody should be murdering this much. Like like serial killers really barely exist in other races. There's only one race that's serial killers, and that's these people. I'm about to pull it up now.
Cut. And if I may, sir, I was mentioning earlier how this is right on the heels of the mass shooting in Georgia. This might be a telltale sign of things to come in America with these mass shootings in Esau. You know, just a telltale sign, if I could.
All right. Suspect bought gun days before shooting at Boulder King Supers. Is accused of 10 counts of murder. Boulder Police Chief Sheriff Harold speak on that news conference. Also identified the alleged gunman as a 21-year-old Arvada man. Whatever that means. All right, let's see this. Let's see the story. Can you hear it?
The last victim was removed from the
Con, sir. Maybe a little bit more volume if we could, sir.
Yeah, let me see what I can do.
Been identified by 3:59 a.m. The families of the victims have been notified. I'm going to read the names of the deceased. Denny Strong, 20 years old. Nevin Stadinsky, 23. Ricky Obbs, 25. Trelona Barkanoviak, 49.
Yeah.
For the pain and the anguish that so many in our community and across our state are feeling today.
And it seemed like a lot of them was young people too. Did he shoot up a school or something, a library or something?
It was a grocery mart, if I could, sir.
It was a lot of young people in that. Hey, Shalom, Madara, Lord Christ.
Hey, Shalom Christ, Cap.
Yeah, so he done went and killed a lot of young people too. But this is the madman we facing. This is the madman we dealing with.
Right.
Let's get a little more on the story.
10 lives lost. 10 friends, neighbors, sisters, brothers, parents, colleagues, community members, families that are grieving today, woke up today without their loved ones, including an officer who bravely died in the line of duty, protecting this community officer talent. His service and his sacrifice will never be forgotten.
And look, he didn't kill a cop. They still bring him in.
Right.
They still bring him in. What do you brothers think about this so far?
Con, sir, if I may, it's just despicable on how America really is. I mean, this is the norm of a society, but you can't really expect anything less from a society that was built on torture and bloodshed of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who are the true Israelites according to the Bible. Now it seems that the rooster, I mean, it's like what, how they say that? It's coming home to roost.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. It's coming back on these people. They reap what they sow. Now they see how black people feel in the ghettos. We feel like stormtroopers is coming in our homes, and now we don't feel safe. Now, white folks can't even shop at the grocery store, Whole Foods, and different shopping outlets, and they got to be in fear now. It's lucky.
Damn right. What do you think about this, Warrior? Officer Madara?
Kind of shoes. Like I said before, it's no surprise. You understand? When you got a wicked nation of people that go around, committing all kinds of mass murders across the face of this earth. Like, it's no surprise when they do it within their own communities. And from all the shootings and bombings it is that they've done inside the United States, I mean, it's a casual thing at this point.
Yeah. This is why America's always at war. America's always at war because it needs somebody to unleash its bloodthirst on. See, guys like this, they're normally 21-year-old guys like this. They'd be in the army fighting over in some country somewhere, murdering villagers. That's where he would have been under normal circumstances. But instead, he's over here in America and just itching to murder.
Right.
Like that needs to be a study done on these devils. What turns them from an average everyday devil to a mass murderer? Because it's happening more and more frequently and more frequently. They can't be trusted. And then I heard the president, the brother John Davis, said the president addressed the situation, but his point was on gun laws. See, the president, he'll address this, but when black people getting killed in the streets, he don't address that. He's quiet.
Right.
A few Asians get killed, he's ready to rewrite the Constitution for them. But our people dying all this time, and there's nothing to be done. Go ahead, Warriors, take over real quick.
Connor, it's so heavy what you talking about, Cap, because they had all these protests talking about justice for Asians and this and that. But the thing is we've been suffering. When I say we, I'm talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We've been suffering for years, and black people, that 10 mass casualty is the average in the average ghettos in America where black people live. That's nothing. Hell, just in Naptown, they just had just one incident where 4 people was shot, killed. So now the so-called oppressor of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they feeling the pinch. They feeling what it's like to live in fear, to live, in terror, under adverse conditions. Now they can't even go to the grocery. Number one, they got to get their mask. And if they make it past the COVID virus, now they got another virus they got to deal with. And the virus of the goddamn devil, Esau, his hatred, that virus. Salakius.
Let's go to, yep, you damn right. Madara, you got anything you want to drop on this? I'm going to go to the next story.
Nah.
Sorry, Christ. All right. You guys see the story? Yep. St. Patrick's Day Remembrance, the bond between the Choctaw and the Irish. 2 years ago, on March 12, 2018, the Prime Minister of Ireland visited the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma. He was in the United States during a week-long tour to celebrate St. Patrick's Day festivities. He wanted to visit the Choctaw Nation to thank the tribe for the generous gift their ancestors gave to the Irish back in 1847 during the Great Famine of 1845, 1852 in Ireland. Wow. The Choctaw Nation fed the Irish during their famine. After experiencing their own difficult times during the Trail of Tears 16 years prior, when the Choctaws heard about the suffering of the Irish were experiencing, they collected $170, the equivalent of $4,400 in today, and through a group of Quakers sent it across the Atlantic Ocean to help feed the starving people in Ireland. Ain't that something? The story of our two peoples, the Irish people and the Choctaw people, symbolizes the spirit of St. Patrick's, our patron saint, perhaps better than anything else. Right. So, and blah, blah, blah. So that's what he was here for. To thank the Choctaw for sending them money way back then. What your brothers think about this?
Slocky, sir, if I will. It's just it's a shame, you know, how a lot of people don't understand that the so-called Native Indians or Native Americans, or however way you put it, are the true Israelites also. I mean, they go through the same curses that black people go through, you know what I mean? And we in the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander Junior Hanna, we stand up for our people. We bring awareness about these stories so that we can do something about it. That Christian church, they not worried about what's going on the reservations or with Native Indian people. When's the last time you ever heard a sermon in the Christian church addressing the needs and concerns of Native Indian people? You don't, because they don't give a damn. Salakis.
And I got the scripture, Matthew 15 and 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. That's what the scripture say about it. And it's just amazing how the Choctaw people, and if people don't know, the Choctaw tribe, they're a very dark skinned, very, very, very dark skinned tribe where they look like they look like real dark Negro Judites. Okay, that's the Choctaw. A lot of them are in Mississippi and things like that, and they look just like black people. They're very, very dark skinned, dark creamy skin people. I'm gonna pull them up on here and see if I can pull some images of them. And basically, during this time, you had oppressors who just walked us on the trail of tears, on a trail of murder, and you got black people helping them out. Like, we're trying to help them while they're murdering us and stealing our land.
Right.
That's how sad it is. That's a sad ordeal. And that's because the Christian church didn't put us in those type of positions to where we're the like subservient slaves to them, even across the seas. Where was the Irish help when the Irish was storming the streets in those gangs, killing black people in New York because they didn't want to serve in the Civil War?
Right.
People don't know about that history right there. Go ahead, Officer Matarai. You had anything you want to drop on this?
Khan, I just wanted to say, you know, how sad it is to see that our people, you know, not only back then, but even now, are such a low state that even after we just came off of such a terrible hardship like the Trail of Tears, you know, we still went out of our way to help these oppressors. You know, back when we gave them Irish Devils all that money, like there were still, you know, different indigenous tribes fighting wars just to, you know, be able to live an everyday life. There were still different indigenous tribes, you know, also suffering from famine, suffering from being displaced. But yet, like you said, the Christian church, you know, teaching our people to really hate our own, you know, we didn't see fit to give that relief to our own nation. Instead, we chose to give it to a bunch of devils that also oppressed us.
Damn right. Look at this. Everybody can see. This is a Choctaw, full-blooded Choctaws right there. Like I told you, Choctaws are a very dark tribe. There are a lot of in the South, Louisiana, Mississippi. I actually knew somebody was a descendant of Choctaw Indian tribe, and I didn't believe him. I said, "Well, everybody says they're every black person says they got Indian in them. I don't believe, whatever. I ain't worried about it." But then I saw a Black Indians documentary, and it had the Choctaw tribe, and the Choctaw motherfucker people look like the person. And I said,
Right.
I said, wow, that person was telling the full-blooded truth. Them Choctaws just look like very, very dark, creamy black people. And like the brother was saying, there was still Indian tribes that were suffering. You had the Cherokees, you had the Apache Indians who were still damn near fighting wars on the last frontier. That's why they named the helicopter the Apache helicopter, because the Apaches was such a fierce tribe. The Kiowa were a very fierce tribe. They were feared. The native Indians were scared of the Kiowas, and the oppressor was scared of the Kiowa Indians. So they were still fighting and still surviving in the Western fronts as a people. And you got our people sending resources over 1 million miles away to Ireland. Look at that.
Right.
Then you wonder why black people were destroyed because of the religions and the beliefs. We praise a white Jesus. We're gonna feed the white people. We're not gonna feed a fellow native Indian or a Pueblo or nothing like that. So this is the history, and the white man's coming back to thank the Choctaws, and this is the Choctaw back then. But take a look at who they have representing the Choctaw now. I'm about to pull it up. Okay, you seen the Choctaw back then. Look who's representing the Choctaw now.
Damn.
Look at that. Can you believe that? Hey, Shalom, mighty man. Padazai in the building. And so they went from extremely dark chocolate people to this is to be honest, this is Irish people thinking Irish people. These ain't them ain't no damn, half of them ain't no damn Choctaws. Those them $5 Indians that had been mixing in the tribes. That's why the Dawes Roll, if you look up the Dawes Roll, was so important, because if you weren't on the Dawes Roll, then they were able to say to take your legitimacy as a native Indian. They would say, you're not native Indian, you're not on the Dawes Roll, the DAWES roll. And that has the role of all the native Indians that the white man considers to be real native Indians. But he'll be on there, but then the real Indians won't. And then he'll take land and take rights and take resources that are supposed to go to the native Indian people, and be here sitting on here standing over top the Choctaw tribe like he's a full-blooded Choctaw, when I just showed the image where the Choctaw look like the darkest people you'll meet down south. This is what they do. The scripture say they the serpent. The scripture calls him the snake. He's a snake for a reason. Most subtle beast of the field for a reason. He'll take your whole identity away and be sitting walking around as you, and you'll be sitting not even having your own language and culture anymore. And so these same Irish people were killing black people in New York because they didn't want to fight in the Civil War. And now they want to come and be buddy. But look, we sent them money. Where's their money? Where's the money they sending us? Anybody else want to say something about this? What you brothers think about this?
If I may, sir, it's just real crazy, you know what I mean? Because them $5 Indians, they the ones that getting all the benefits and the tax breaks for the casinos and stuff like that. They not really, trying to look out for the Choctaw people like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Damn right. And our native Indian brothers and sisters need to wake the hell up. They need to wake up, man. The problem on the reservations is the leadership of the Native Indians. The same problems of the ghettos, the same problems of the barrios, the same problems of the favelas. These are ghettos. When you look up the word ghetto, let's get the definition of the word ghetto. That's all these are. It says a ghetto, a quarter of a city in which Jews were formerly required to live. Jews. What they used to say in the ghetto. The ghetto is nothing but a reservation, a favela, a barrio, a hood. And it's where the Jews were formerly required to live. It tells you in the definition who the Lord's people are. Let me see. Let me pull up the definition for you also so everybody can see it. Hold on a sec. Hold on. See, I always thought that was very interesting when I was first learning the truth. That the ghetto. It's not letting me pull up the. Let me see. A ghetto is where Jews live. Let me pull it up. All right, can you guys see it?
Council.
Yeah. Definition of ghetto: a quarter of the city in which the Jews were formerly required to live. Who lived in ghettos? I ain't see the so-called Amalekites living in no ghettos.
Right.
They living in the suburbs and in the Crown Heights and stuff. The ghetto is the Black, Hispanic, and Native American, the reservations, the barrios, favelas. Favelas is the ghettos that are in Brazil. So we have Choctaw Indians sitting in the ghettos, and you got Irish coming over here talking about, yeah, thank you for sending us all this money back in the day. We just come here to sit over top of you and say thank you. You ain't even bring back no money. That's how they think. That's how they think of us. We ready to break the bank for them. Then all they're gonna say is thank you. They're not even gonna pay you back for helping these scrounging drunk asses. Excuse my language. When dealing with them, I'm Irish. Okay, they were killing black people in New York. Watch the movie Gangs in New York. There was a black brother in the gang. He was in the gang with the whites. In the middle of the movie during the riots, you'll see that same black man is hung on a tree and hung on a light pole. And there's a scene where the main character, I think his name is Johnny Depp or something. What's the main character? Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. They all look the damn same to me. But and he sees him because that was his friend. He was riding with him, and he looks up at the tower at the light pole, and there's a black man, and it's his friend, the black brother playing in the movie, hanging on a tree. Red Summer. Irish was all over the country killing black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people. There was Irish people who took a part in Black Wall Street. Same Irish people that we trying to love today. We trying to have St. Patrick's Day. We were trying to wear green. I ain't see none of them wearing black for Black History Month.
Right.
See, we look to a people that cannot save us. The scripture says our lovers are going to despise thee. We love them. They despise us. That's our relationship. Any brothers have anything? What you brothers think about this?
So like,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like you had said, we gave, them Irish bastards all that money, which could have been used to help out, different indigenous tribes that were suffering, around that time, worse than the Irish were. And from what it is that our people did, from giving the Irish money with nothing in return, like there are a multitude of different native tribes that actually believe the Irish are, our brothers because we gave them resources. You understand? And like you said, we gave them that money, but where's our return? The Irish have been saying since COVID first began, oh, well, from the generosity of what you did for us in 1847, we're going to send COVID relief to, I believe it was the Navajo Nation. But they've been saying that for months upon months without anything actually being sent to help our people. And like a story that I sent, in our chat, Navajo Nation is suffering from the largest amount of COVID cases out of the different reservations. Yet the only relief they've got were body bags from the U.S. government.
Mm, mm. And the leaders of the Navajo Nation, they are Christianized. They are Christianized. They have bought into the belief that Native Indians are only a bunch of peace loving, pipe smoking, totem pole worshiping tree huggers. Like they done bought into that stereotype that that's what Gadites, that's what Native American culture is about. When that's not what Native Indian culture was about. Native Indian culture, they worship the Most High, Yahweh. You understand? You see it in their songs. They say Yahweh. They didn't worship the wind and the trees and the. They done bought into that because that narrative been pushed on the Native Indian tribes. The same way blacks have bought into we monkeys and we used to be like chickens and throwing chicken bones and acting like crazy tribal shamanism and all that. That's not how we ever was. We were priests. We had priests of the Most High. We followed the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. But they have pushed these narratives in our ignorance because we don't know our true culture. We accepted these cultures and these stereotypes that have been pushed on us. They didn't push that the wind, the tree type of Native Indian when the Native Indians were warriors. They were feared warriors. Why do you think the oppressor named the Tomahawk missile, the Apache helicopter? They got multiple battles and things named after them. They feared them Native Indians. You watch them in old Western movies. They see a Native Indian on the hilltop. They shitting bricks.
Right.
The Native Indian tribes, the Sioux. Some of the Sioux tribes, they wiped out whole brigades of devils. General Custer, he rode and killed a native close to 400 Native Indians, in their villagers when they came for peace. One of the chiefs came to America and said, "Look, I want peace," and he brought his tribe to them, and they sat next to one of the forts. And the general rode on them and killed them, women and children. Later on, that same general was surrounded by Native Indians, and the Native Indians killed him and his men. Native Indians weren't no totem pole worshiping tree huggers. They were warriors. And that's what these Irish people are trying to. They're not coming to see warriors. They're coming to see a whole bunch of tree huggers and get high and try to get money. We completely lost are out of touch with our culture, and that's because our leaders cause us to err, these religions. But now the truth is here. Truth is coming out to UPK. We're going to bring back the history. We're going to bring the truth out. All right. That's why this show is so important. That's why our brothers need to share and click and like, because this is so important about bringing back our culture, bringing back our way of life, bringing back our spirit. and making our spirit one with the Most High God of Israel, not one with the forest or one with the wind and the trees. Native Indians had cities in America. They became on that subsidiary lifestyle where they were, so many trying to get plants and herbs and stuff because the white man took the land over, and they had to move and migrate and resettle. Then they became extremely nomadic. But before then, they had cities and towns, walled towns and villages, mounds. They had mound cities in Memphis and Tennessee, all over this country. See, the history's gone. We need to bring it back. All right. So, if any brothers have anything else, please go ahead and drop something. I'm gonna go to the next story. Senate confirms Deb Haaland as Biden's Interior Secretary in historic vote. Let's see if we can watch this thing.
Are you looking for
That ad.
a new way to make up to $700 this month?
Like I said, you can't do a Black and Native Indian or a story without tons of ads. They got to try to make some money off money.
Right.
During the course of the last couple of days, Reverend Holland, you've implied that you would virtually blindly follow President Biden in his positions on energy and other important issues for the West, like land management. I can tell you, folks back home are really concerned about the lurch to the left of this administration. And if confirmed, you would be 8th in line succession to the presidency of the United States. Isn't the role of a cabinet secretary to advise the president on these important issues, not just follow him blindly?
Senator, the way I have always taken any position I've had is I feel that I'm part of a team. And if I'm confirmed, it's working with all of the other cabinet secretaries, as well as with President Biden, and acting as a team. And of course, as I've mentioned many times, Congress is a co-equal branch of government. I don't think we can move these important issues forward by ourselves. We need to work together.
All right. Hold on. Let me get off of this. So what do you brothers think of that? And what's the story on this? Is this a Native Indian woman?
We've rethought every step you take to get into a new.
Go ahead.
It's like, she's supposed to be a Gadite sister, but I was looking into her and I found out her father is actually a Norwegian devil. So she's actually a white woman.
Another $5 Indian.
Right.
And she's supposed to be. And see, people don't understand Joe Biden. Joe Biden is he's a snake. He surrounded himself with women and weak members so he can do what he want to do. He surrounded himself with a whole bunch of yes men and yes women. You know, what you brothers think about this?
If I could, I was just gonna say this. You know, it's the same old. You know what I mean? It's like we putting our hope in, and yet more leadership that is not going to impact, truly impact the lives of Israelites, meaning you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by this story. Somebody will one, like Madara said, look at her like, oh wow, we got a Native American on our side, and two, then they're going to put more faith into the system. And we'll chip away ever so slightly at the oppression, but never make any real lasting change for the people who truly need it. So, I mean, same old song and dance.
Right. Scripture. I got a scripture, Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. What you brothers think about this?
Damn right, sir. If I may, that's so heavy because everybody's profiting off of being black people except black people. You know, think about Camilla Harris. She's posing as a black woman. Now this woman's posing as a Native Indian woman, and they benefiting and they getting power in this government. But you know, the real sisters ain't really, you know, in getting power like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting power off of being us, except for us, really. It's lucky.
Mm-hmm. And if you notice one thing, this devil's name, if you notice her name is Dab Holland. And if you know anything about Norway, which obviously she's Norwegian, their capital or one of their main cities is Holland. Am I wrong on that? Holland. And that's her last name. So these devils come in. Her last name isn't Runwood Horse or Fair Light Feather or nothing like that, or Running Water. Her last name is Holland, but she's a Native Indian. Some more $5 Indians. These are more of these devils moving in on Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, trying to take over us. Like the scripture says, never trust thine enemy, because they will seek to overthrow thee. That's what the rest of that scripture says. It says they will crouch down and be like unto thee. Then they will seek to overtake thee and take thy throne and sit in thy place and tell thy servants what to do. That's what this devil just has done. And now she's in the White House. And while she's in the White House, this definitely segues to the next story. Model Rob, what you think about this?
Oh, I mean, sure. Like Officer Nepatazar said, you know, with us being UPK, it's you know, no surprise, but like it's really sad to see, you know, how it is that our people are putting so much faith into this devil, because you know, Gad, shoot, they're up in arms everywhere talking about, oh, there's gonna be a change. Deb Holland, you know, she's gonna make changes for Native Americans everywhere, this, that, and the third. But I mean, we're gonna find out sooner rather than later that she's gonna show her true colors, and she's gonna show that she is not, you know what I'm saying, a sister for our people, but rather a devil. And we already know what the devil does to our people.
Yeah. Go ahead, Officer Makbaf.
So, like you, sir, if I may, I got a scripture I want to pull. This is in the book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. This woman's named Holland. She ain't nothing but another devil. You know what I mean? Her ancestry probably go back to Holland. Like it says, they call their lands after their own names. That's another devil. She's not a sister. So, you know, she's already in. If she was, she would be usurping authority over men, trying to get an authority. So it's wrong all the way around. And we just can't get gassed up by the deeds of the devil, if I may, sir.
Yeah, right. Nepatazar, you have anything else? I'm sorry, Christ. Now, while the Deb Holland is in the White House, look what's going on with our Native Indian people. Remains of missing indigenous woman found on Menominee Reservation. Human remains found on the Menominee Indian Reservation last week belonged to Caitlin Kelly, who had been missing since June 2020. The Menominee Tribal Police Department announced Monday. With assistance from the FBI, investigated remains found March 17th on the tribe's reservation. In a statement posted on the Facebook, the police department said an autopsy was performed on Monday and a positive identification was made. Kelly, 22 at the time of her disappearance, was reported missing by her mother on June 18, 2020. She was last seen during the night of June 16th and June 17th. On Silver Cano Road. In the days that Kelly was reported missing, the tribal police and other tribal entities scoured roadways, forest areas, and local bodies of water. Police did not say exactly where her remains were located. And this has been going on for a long time. Indigenous women being murdered on the reservations. This has been going on since I've been alive. What you brothers think about this?
I was going to say this problem right here, what we're seeing, like this story is all too common, and it's becoming very common in the for Negroes as well, because those Native Americans are kind of Tribe Gad and what have you. They kind of live off the radar. They're never really in the main news like that, and so a lot of those, I watched a special on it, and how there's a lot of young girls that come up missing, and they're getting swayed by people coming on a reservation and offering them money and doing different things. And so it's just a horrible tragedy what's going on with our people, and the government don't give a damn. And the reservation, the people, the authorities on the reservation aren't really in authority. They still have to, deal with the local police and sheriffs around the reservation. So it's not a lot of power that they have in general. And then you're also seeing this, with Jake, you're seeing a lot of, young girls coming up missing. And it's just like, everybody who's Black, Hispanic, and Native American has to come into the ISUPK, because we're going to teach the men how to be righteous and how to protect their family. And then we're going to, like the scriptures say, train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they're older, they're not going to depart. They're going to know who the devil is. They're going to know not to talk to him, not to trust him, to be on guard all the time. Be prepared to fight and die, and Lord willing, not ever end up in situations like this.
Right. And if I could, they always talk about. I'm just scrolling on the YouTube, as you can see, of all the different stories of missing and murdered Native American women. This is one thing they never go into. This is how you know this is a satanic plot that the government is in on. They never tell you how they were murdered. You ever notice that? They find the remains. They give you no details. Whose land is it on? What happened to her? What's the condition? What was the cause of death? They never say these things. They never fully investigated or publicize these things, because they're protecting the murderers. America is protecting the murderers of the Native American women. The same way in Washington, D.C., when there was a flurry of missing black girls, when they finally found out what happened, it was police that were prostituting these girls and kidnapping them. And the police were able to cover up the stories and cover up the evidence and cover up the investigation. That's what I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 100% positive. But I suspect that's what's been going on with these missing Native Indian women. Because when these criminals, when these serial rapists and serial murderers, what they do is they attract to each other. If you ever wanted to become a part of the pedophile community, you can become a part of the pedophile community, and you'll get access to their chats, their forums, where they talk, where they hang. And through those forums, you will get information about how to successfully molest and rape without getting caught. It's the same with hackers. They had $30 billion worth of unemployment hacked and stolen by gangs from mafias and Russian mafias and African gangs and triads. And they had online forums where these hackers basically would tell each other the secrets of how to do it. This is the same thing that's going on with our Native American women. There is a strong and powerful community of traffickers who kidnap, molest, rape, prostitute, and murder our Native American women. And it's not talked about in mainstream media. It's not talked about like the Asians. They ain't about to make laws. When 10 Asians get killed, they made laws and the whole country shook. But they're not doing that for these Native American women. Why? Because it is a powerful group, they want to talk about secret societies. There's a powerful society of traffickers who do these things. And they're in operation, and they've been in operation for a long time. Okay, let's get this story real quick and see some of the depth of it.
Nermeen Shea.
We end today's show with the devastating story of Que Sera Stops Pretty Places, a Native American teenager whose family is demanding justice after she was found dead in Hardin, Montana in late August, just 2 weeks after her 18th birthday. Que Sera was a member of the Crow and Northern Cheyenne tribal communities.
And them Cheyennes, that's another tribe. There was 5 very warrior-like violent tribes that kicked ass in the plains. You had the Kiowa, the Sioux, the Comanche, and the Cheyenne. The Cheyenne were also tribes that were not like a peaceful tribe. They would fight. You understand? So this is one of the tribes that she was a part of. And there's always a lot of times young girls that they kidnap and taken. Okay.
In Montana. She lived with her grandmother. According to her family, Que Sera never came home on the night of August 24th. She was reported missing 2 days later. On August 29th, the body of a young woman was found in the town of Hardin. It wasn't until 2 weeks later that local law enforcement confirmed it was Que Sera. The circumstances surrounding her death and disappearance remain a mystery. Her family believes she was murdered, but says local law enforcement is not treating her sudden disappearance and death as foul play.
Hey, Sarah.
Right there. The local law enforcement is not treating the disappearance and the murder as foul play. This is what I mean when I say these are some powerful, connected secret society of devils that prey and murder Native American women. What do you brothers want to say about this so far? What do you brothers think?
If I may, sir, this is Officer Hamakaba. It's really sad because we bring these stories out to bring awareness about these situations, for our Native Indian brothers and sisters. And the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander John Yohana is the only organization doing this. Not the Christian church, not the Muslim mosque, not Egyptology, Kemet, and all that stuff like that. Not even America or the Irish or any of that stuff. And what's happening with these young females is sad. As a matter of fact, a lot of truckers go on those reservations, and it's like a ground for abduction and rape for a lot of Native Indian girls on those reservations. Those truckers that come through, like you were saying, Cap. I mean, it's just it's a very sinister plot that a lot of people do not know about that's happening to these young ladies, and we the only ones that's bringing awareness so that we can combat it and do something about it, sir.
All right. And like they said, the police are not even treating it like a crime. Why are they not treating it like a crime? Because they know who did it. They know who did it. They never tell the details. Was she raped? How was she murdered? Was she strangled? If you find the body, you're going to find evidence of how she was killed. Like I told you, these are some powerful, murderous people who are a part of this this satanic it's really a cult. This is a satanic cult of people that prey on Native American girls. It's the same with, you ever heard of Jack the Ripper?
Colonel Concert.
Jack the Ripper was a man who would go out at night. He hated, similar like the white man who killed them Asian girls, he hated prostitutes. So he would go out at night and kill a prostitute every night, or 2 or 3 prostitutes every night out in England. He was called Jack the Ripper. And he was famous because they couldn't find him. He would go kill them and be gone. Every day there'd be a new prostitute killed. And it's the same psyche that these Caucasian men have. This love, hate, murderous, disgusting behavior where they have sex with prostitutes, but they hate that they have sex with prostitutes, and they hate the prostitutes, and they murder them. Not saying this girl was even a prostitute, but it's the same mindset of the same type of Caucasian men, which is really any and every Caucasian man, because that's who's doing this. It's Caucasian men.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. There's no mystery. These, like you said, the truckers, sheriffs, police, these people are connected, and they know what's going on, and they've been knowing what's going on. And every time a new girl comes up missing or dead, they know, well, more than likely that was the mayor, or the secretary of state, or the senator, or some, so go ahead and just put the file over here. We'll tell them we did an investigation, and we're going to leave it alone. Something like this happened. Something like this is what brought down the KKK. If a lot of you don't know, the Ku Klux Klan started in Indiana, Southern Ohio. Southern Indiana. Excuse me. Okay, I believe it's Marion, Indiana. It was the birthplace where they had their headquarters of the Ku Klux Klan. And the Ku Klux Klan was so powerful that they had a member that was about to run for president and was about to win the presidency. Before he was able to win the presidency, the Ku Klux Klan high up members, who were senators, mayors, high up politicians, lawyers, they had a party in one of their mansions. And they had a white woman who was like an immigrant at the party, and she was a prostitute, or she was abducted, one or the other. But they were raping her. All of the little Ku Klux Klan heads were taking turns raping her. They had beat her. They had tortured her. She had bite marks all over her body. She was brutalized. They dumped her body. Right? They dumped her body. But her body was found, and she was still alive. And the last words that she said before she died, she told them who did that to her. And they investigated it, and they found out it was the Ku Klux Klan members. But these were mayors, senators. They were wearing suit and ties, and it was a huge scandal. And it brought down the Ku Klux Klan. It brought the whole organization down, where they wasn't able to win the presidency. They were frowned upon as a group. They were started becoming not outright. Like, if you were to see, they have a video of the Ku Klux Klan marching in the White House. It was like 5,000. It was thousands of them marching openly in Washington, D.C. back in the day. That was at the height of the Ku Klux Klan's power. And what did they do? They abducted a woman, raped, tortured, molested, beat, and killed her, and dumped her body. these devils have the history of this, and that's what happened. That's what's happening to our Native American girls. And if our people are wise, we need to, like brother said, get in the ISUPK so we can start protecting from this, because this is not going to stop. And it's organized. Okay, it's organized, orchestrated chaos, orchestrated murder. Let's see if there's any more in this story. And if you brothers want to chime in anytime, go ahead.
Is among at least 27 Indigenous girls and women reported missing or murdered in Bighorn County in the past decade. Since 2000,
27 in one county. But you can't find them. You don't know who did it. You don't know, have no leads, no evidence. This is lies. The police are covering it up. And 9 times out of 10, some of those tribal elders and tribal leaders that are so respected and so honored, a lot of times them tribal leaders, they know what's going on. And they refuse to really act on it. They refuse to really act on it. Okay? And a lot of them don't care. They'll put on the facade that they care the most, but a lot of them know this is the deal they made with the devil. That they're going to be, or they'll have this land and have this reservation, but every 3 or 4 months, every 3 months, a girl going to come up missing. That's the deal. That's the deal they made with the devil by becoming Christian and becoming docile and becoming allied with the oppressor. Let's get more.
2010, there have been also at least 134 cases of missing or murdered Indigenous girls and women in the state of Montana overall. Well, for more, we go to Milwaukee, where we're joined by Grace Boltel, Kesara's aunt, assistant professor in the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And in Phoenix, Arizona, we're joined by Mary Catherine Nagel, a citizen of Cherokee Nation, partner at Pipestem Law, a law firm dedicated to the restoration of tribal sovereignty and jurisdiction. She currently represents Kesara's family. Mary Catherine Nagel, let's start with you. Explain what you understand happened in August.
Thank you so much for having us on the show this morning. And let me be clear, the family is certainly the expert on the facts surrounding her disappearance and her death and what they know. But speaking as a lawyer and looking at the legal framework, it's very clear that what happened in August was a complete disregard for not only the rights of Kesara, but the rights of all Native women when local law enforcement failed to investigate her death and to...
You telling me that these fucking pigs, that these goddamn dirty, disgusting devils didn't even investigate?
Right.
What did I tell you? I told you this was an organized satanic ring of serial killers and serial rapists. They are highly connected and organized to the point where they have the power to murder with impunity. This is what's going on in America. You think America's about the freedom and the hot dogs and the baseball games. This is what's going on in America. Let's get more. If you brothers want to say something, go ahead.
To take all steps necessary to look for her before finding her on August 29th. And of course, her family wasn't notified until September. But the first 24, 48 hours that a Native woman goes missing are the most critical in terms of finding her and locating her. And in this instance, I think we have a pretty severe abdication of duties when it comes to local law enforcement and the search for her, or the lack of search that took place.
Grace Boltel, first of all, our condolences to your whole family. Can you walk us through what you understand took place in August to Kesara?
Sure. Thank you for covering this story, Amy. Our family understands that Kesara went missing. My sister reported her missing. She went to Bighorn County officials several times and went in person, and our family has not been told any details we were finally notified that her body was identified on September 11th.
You notice one more thing she said. The family was not given any details. Not given any details. This place got to burn. This kingdom has to burn. All right, let's get to rest. If y'all want to say anything, go ahead.
Several weeks after she was found, and it's been an ongoing struggle in terms of getting information from anyone in Bighorn County.
Been a struggle to get information. I told you what I tell you. I said every time something happens like this, there's no stories, there's no details. How did she die? When did she die? What's the cause of death? Who's investigating and checking the DNA on the body? The family, they're not telling the family nothing. This is it's a plot. It's a government plot.
Mary, can you talk about how her case fits into the larger pattern of how law enforcement has been responding to murdered and missing Indigenous girls and women?
Yes, absolutely. Sarah, like so many of our Native women, sisters, daughters, and aunties, has been caught in this jurisdictional loophole. In 1978, the United States Supreme Court took away tribal criminal jurisdiction over non-Indians. And as the United States Department of Justice has reported, unfortunately, the majority of violent crimes against our Native women are committed by non-Indians. And so that means that, quite often our tribal governments, their hands are tied because of the legal framework the federal government has put in place. In this instance, because Sarah's body was found 5 miles off the reservation, where she was found was within state jurisdiction. But as her aunt just mentioned, the local law enforcement, Bighorn County, for a long time, ever since this was first reported to them at the end of August, has failed to just take very basic steps to conduct an investigation looking into the causes surrounding her death. At the same time, the federal government has also failed to step in.
See, and this is bullshit to me. I can't even stand to hear these people talk about this because they're talking about it like this is a fucking traffic ticket or something.
Right.
They're talking about it like, oh, it's a legal loophole. That's the real reason. That's all this is. It's just a little confusion because the paperwork and the jurisdiction is a little different because this is our people being murdered. Who give a fuck about some jurisdiction when we want our people being murdered? That's why I said the leadership is in on this on some level. Because to be honest, it shouldn't be no worry about no jurisdiction. They need to find out who did it, and they need to be 5 Gadites ready to scalp that motherfucker. Excuse my language.
Right.
That's what should be going on. We should hear about it was confusion of some suspected rapist was found dead in his semi truck. In the middle of Denver, Colorado. Nobody knows how, but they found some Native Indian beads on him. Suspected Native Indian took him out. Like that's how we got to be to protect our damn people, man. If you ain't like that, then you ain't gonna protect shit. If you a leader, you got to protect the sheep from the wolves. You can't just sit back talking about some jurisdictional bullshit. Go ahead, Warrior.
Sir, it's just so heavy what you bringing out because that's the plan to bind the strong man on the reservations, to bind those Gadite brothers to make them drunkards and not paying attention to what's going on in the tribes. And we in ISUPK, the Command in Junior Hana, we commissioned to gather ourselves together so that we can be that strong man that looks out and be a shepherd for the people, for our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You saying something so heavy, sir. Ain't no way the leadership in that society don't know what's going on. They got to be in on it. Hell, they just found out who killed those Asian women. The leadership knew who killed them. You know, they was investigating, and the FBI was out there, and the CIA and everything, but nobody can find out what's going on with these Native Indian females. So you was exactly right, sir.
Yeah, right. Mother Raw?
I was lucky. I was about to agree with you, just like Officer Markoboth did about the leadership being in on it, not only on the tribal government's part, but as well as the United States government part. You understand? Because I mean, shoot, I believe it was the beginning of last year. I said Trump had, signed some documents, basically, what was supposed to put into effect a task force to recover missing, Native sisters, as well as to solve the crimes of their murders. And natives everywhere were, just so excited about it, saying how, they finally won one, and things were about to change. How it usually goes. And there ain't been a damn thing that has changed when it comes to all of our sisters that have come up missing and that have been murdered.
Damn right. I'm gonna play the last of it, then we're gonna close it out.
The FBI has said they will not get involved because her body was found 5 miles off the border of the reservation, despite the fact that she's an enrolled citizen of a tribal nation, and there's no evidence to indicate that the crime that led to her death did not occur on the reservation. But this is what happens because we have 3 different sovereigns and a very complicated federal legal framework. The state and federal government, which under this federal legal framework usually have jurisdiction, often displace their responsibility and try to push it off onto other sovereigns, whereas our tribal governments, their jurisdiction has been taken away. And what happened?
The state and federal.
I don't want to hear that because I suspect that's a damn devil. She talk like a damn devil and sound like one. Yeah, I mean, just talking with that same damn forked tongue, trying to say something but ain't saying shit. You know what I mean? Got nothing but fucking excuses. You know what I mean? All she really doing is making excuses for the government. Well, the FBI can't do nothing because it was 5 miles from there. And then the tribals can't do nothing because it was there. And where's the outrage? Where's the fucking solution? See, motherfuckers like that don't even need to talk. Only thing we need to be talking about is how we're gonna find and take out these motherfucking rapists. That should be the only discussion. How we gonna put these trackers on these sisters so anytime a sister come up missing, that she got the tracker on her bracelet or on her damn leg or something on her ankle. So when that motherfucker try to kidnap her, we're gonna turn on the tracker, find their ass, and then his ass gonna be motherfucking. He gonna be in 10 pieces. That should be the only fucking discussion. We don't give a damn about no damn jurisdiction when it comes to our little girls like this. And that's the problem. These goddamn leaders ain't shit. These same damn, that's why I said the Native Indians, they'd be fine if they stop following these weak ass tribal leaders. They're full of honor and integrity, and they ain't shit but Christian pastors. Everybody got so much respect and honor for a goddamn Christian pastor when he ain't solving shit. He ain't shepherding shit. He ain't doing nothing for the people. All he gonna sit back and say is, we need more police. That's all the fucking tribal elder gonna say. We need more police. See, the Native Indians ain't gonna say it because they got so much respect for the tribal elders. But look, I ain't in no damn reservation. I'm gonna say what's the truth. I'm in the UPK.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, them damn tribal elders done failed. Whatever excuse and reason they have for not solving this fucking problem, it don't fucking matter. All your excuses don't mean shit. All your reasons why you're powerless and why you're this and why you're that don't mean shit when you ain't providing results. Put Commander Johanna in charge of the fucking reservation, and we'll show you how to get some goddamn results, man. We'll show you how to catch these motherfuckers, man. And not talk about some damn 5 miles over there and it was 2 miles over here, so we can't do shit about it. Now we start to see what the fucking problem is. Let me get the last of this so we can.
Federal level, everything from Savannah's Act and the Not Invisible Act of 2019, introduced to the House and Senate, Hannah's Act signed into law in Montana. What are these measures? And we only have a minute.
Sure. So many measures are on the table right now. Savannah's Act, really quickly, would require every single United States attorney to implement a protocol, a guideline to follow when a Native woman is reported murdered or missing. And that would require collaboration with tribal law enforcement, tribal government, and state law enforcement. In this instance, you could see how that would be incredibly useful, because right now we've got 3 separate governments who aren't necessarily speaking to each other. And in the instance of the federal government, they're completely abdicating their duty to even be involved. And Not Invisible Act, while that doesn't restore, and likewise Savannah's Act doesn't restore jurisdiction to tribal governments or resources so that governments could actually investigate their own citizens who go missing, those crimes. But Not Invisible Act would create sort of a committee of folks from the federal, tribal, and state levels, advocates, family members, to come together and discuss this crisis, because it is a crisis. As you mentioned, we know Bighorn County is actually ground zero for the crisis. There have been so many Native women who've gone murdered and missing in Montana. This can no longer be overlooked.
Talking about some damn acts, and the acts ain't do shit. What a damn Amber Alert shit, where every time somebody go missing, they got a damn alert. Everybody phone in the whole damn state. You know, you look into a nation that cannot save you. That's what it is. You try to look to the federal, the government, and this and that. They cannot do the job. Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, we got to do the job. With the spirit of the Most High in Christ, in the UPK, under Commander Gianna, we got the tools. We got the knowledge. We got the spirit. Because this chick, she ain't going, she couldn't help a damn turtle out of damn pond. With the way she is, all these damn laws and shit and legals, loopholes, we need to get down to the bottom of it, of what higher ups is responsible, because there's somebody high up in the chain that's sanctioning all this shit. And you get more.
Quickly before we conclude, what's the family calling for now?
That the U.S. senators and the state elected officials step in and hold Bighorn County accountable. Our tribal communities elect these officials. We put them into office, and we deserve justice for our children.
We thank you both so much for being with us. We'll continue to follow this case. Grace Boltel, maternal aunt of.
And that's why it's so important, man, for our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Gad to get up and stand strong with the UPK, man. So, you know, whatever problems you're dealing with, it's time to put them in the past and time to get right with the Most High in Christ, so we can deal with these type of problems and save our people. Shoot, even if you come a Native Indian, you listening, you coming to the truth, even if you save one sister, that's powerful. You understand? Even if you come in and just save one, that's worth you changing your life. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, that's worth you changing your life. All right, final comments. What you brothers have to say about this?
Colonel sir, if I will, this is Officer Makba. Yeah, you know, like the scriptures say, they know to bind the strong man. That's the male. You know, in the Garden of Eden, the serpent went to Eve, not Adam. And that's what they do on those reservations, just like they do in the ghettos. They bind black men with drugs. On the reservations, they bind a lot of Gadite brothers with alcohol to keep us weak, docile, and dumb. That's why we need to get away from the Christian church, stop making treaties with these goddamn people, and that way we can get out from under them. I just want to remind everybody to make sure you pay your tithes. Go to isupk.com. Also, go there to check out some information on the 52nd annual Passover in Houston, Texas, on April the 24th in Houston, Texas, at the BH Ranch. Go to isupk.com. $200 per person. Kids free.
Right.
That's all I got, sir.
Damn right. Most High in Christ, brother. Officer Madara.
Kind of true. All I really got to say is, you know what I'm saying, for our native Indian brothers and sisters, stop, turning to and depending on a nation that has not only shown how much they hate us, but who are the main, agitators behind the problems we have within our communities. You know, saying with the alcoholism, with the sisters coming up missing, with land that is still being snatched from us. You know, saying we can't go to these people expecting for them to all of a sudden have a change of heart and save us. We got to depend on our own.
Damn right. And if I could, it looked like the same shit in Boulder, Colorado, that killed the same dude that killed 22 people. I guess he didn't. He couldn't get on the reservation, so he went and killed 22 people off the reservation.
Right.
That's what happened when you have a murderous society that allows murders all across on it. Stuff spills over. Normally that guy would be murdering some Native Indian women, but he got caught up somewhere else in Colorado. You know. But what the brothers brought out was heavy. Check out Kentucky 8 podcast. We bringing out the heaviest shit you can hear. You know what I mean? Every Tuesday at 9 and every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to ishbk.com for more info. This is the home of the truth. I'm gonna play a song and shoot, we're gonna get it on, man. See you next time. Hold on a sec. Let me pull it up.
That is bleak.
He won't stop, yeah. He won't stop, yeah. Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking life, how you gonna stop it? Doing what on me? Won't stop, yeah. He won't stop, yeah. Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking eyes, how you gonna stop it? Doing what on me? On my eyes, we won't stop. Sitting them zones, taking back. D-Block, they don't wanna know where we D-Block. Home of the truth in the bed, gon' rock. Giving the word, making it move. We can't stop, we can't lose. At the school, start to new. One way school, lace it food, call it the truth. I can go really straight out the damn zoo. With the eye, can I pop it to do? Everybody trying to be a Hebrew, yeah.
You can have that taco. I don't want it.
I don't know nobody in the flesh. Yeah, you do. We talk to the press.
Did you get a dog and bones?
I suggest you stay out.
She is?
Won't feel like everything.
Did you get a shot or something?
PK.
No.
Ain't no other way. Hey, won't.
She throwing up?
Yeah.
She must have ate something weird.
Stop. Yeah. Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking life, how you gonna stop it? Doing what on me?
It was a lot or just a little?
Yeah, but
Yes. He won't stop.
Drinking water and then eating
Blessed by the Most High. With my motherfucking life, how you gonna stop it? Doing what on me?
Motherfucker. Yeah. Or they got her sick by being around them sick ass other dogs.
That dog's got flus and shit. And COVID-19. He looked at her, Regalia, he said she looked sick.